The Duke tested 30 women for a wife, the 31st refused to flatter him. The Duke of Ashbourne had one rule when it came to marriage. He would never marry a woman who wanted him for his title. At 34, Adrian Blackwood was one of the wealthiest and most powerful men in England. His estate stretched across thousands of acres, his name was respected in Parliament, and every ballroom seemed to contain at least one young lady hoping to become his duchess. But Adrian had grown tired of being admired. For 3 years, his aunt had arranged meetings with 30 eligible women. The first praised his intelligence. The second told him his eyes were extraordinary. The third said she had dreamed of becoming a duchess since childhood. By the 20th, Adrian had stopped listening. By the 30th, he had become convinced that every woman who approached him was simply performing for his approval. So when his aunt announced that she had found one final candidate, Adrian laughed. Another one? Perhaps, Lady Margaret replied, this one will surprise you. Her name was Miss Eleanor Hart. She was 26, the daughter of a respected country physician, and had no grand fortune, no powerful family connections, and no interest in becoming famous. When Eleanor arrived at Ashbourne Hall, she wore a simple blue dress. Adrian studied her from across the drawing room. You know who I am? He asked. Everyone knows who you are. And you still agreed to meet me? I was told you wanted a wife. I do. Then I suppose we should speak. Adrian raised an eyebrow. Most women became nervous around him. Eleanor simply sat down. He decided to test her. What do you think of my estate? It's very large. Only large? Would you prefer me to call it magnificent? A faint smile appeared on his face. Most women do. Then most women are trying to impress you. Adrian leaned forward. And you aren't? No. Why? Because if I marry you, I will have to live with you. Flattering you for 5 minutes would be pointless. For the first time in years, Adrian was speechless. Then he laughed. A real laugh. Eleanor looked surprised. I thought you were angry. I am. Good. Good. It means you're listening. The Duke couldn't decide whether he disliked her or admired her. Perhaps both. Over the following weeks, Eleanor remained at Ashbourne Hall as a guest. Adrian continued testing her. He took her riding. She told him when his horse was badly trained. He showed her his library. She criticized the way he organized the books. He invited her to a grand dinner. She quietly told him that one of his guests was insulting the servants. Instead of pretending everything was perfect, Eleanor told him the truth. And Adrian discovered something terrifying. He wanted to hear it. One evening, Adrian found Eleanor in the garden. You don't want to marry me, he said. She turned toward him. I don't know. You have refused every opportunity to impress me. Because I don't want to impress you. Then what do you want? Eleanor hesitated. I want to know who you are when nobody is watching. The word struck him harder than she realized. Because nobody had ever asked him that. Everyone wanted the Duke. Almost nobody wanted Adrian. That night, Adrian finally told her the truth. His father had died when he was 22, leaving him an enormous estate and a mountain of responsibilities. His mother had died years earlier. Since then, Adrian had built a wall around himself. He believed affection was usually another form of ambition. Eleanor listened without interrupting. When he finished, she said softly, "You're not afraid of being loved." Adrian looked at her. "You're afraid of being loved for the wrong reason." He had no answer. Days passed. Their arguments became conversations. Their conversations became laughter. And somewhere between the two, Adrian fell in love. But Eleanor didn't know it yet. Then Lady Margaret announced that another woman had arrived at Ashbourne Hall. Lady Victoria Harrow. Beautiful, wealthy, and perfectly trained in the art of charming powerful men. She immediately began flattering Adrian. "You look remarkably handsome tonight. Your judgment in art is extraordinary. I cannot imagine anyone being worthy of becoming your duchess." Adrian barely reacted. His eyes kept searching for Eleanor. When he finally found her standing across the ballroom, she was smiling sadly. Later that evening, Adrian found her alone. "You're leaving?" "Yes." "Why?" "Because Lady Victoria is everything your family expects." "I don't care what my family expects." Eleanor looked at him. "Then what do you care about?" Adrian stepped closer. "You." She froze. "I spent 3 years testing 30 women," he continued. "I thought I was searching for the perfect wife. And? I was wrong." He reached for her hand. "I was searching for someone who would tell me the truth." Eleanor's eyes filled with tears. "And you found her?" "No." Her heart sank. Then Adrian smiled. "I found the woman who makes me want to stop searching." Eleanor laughed through her tears. "You are still rather arrogant." "I know." "And stubborn." "Certainly." "And impossible." "Probably." She shook her head. "Then I suppose someone will have to keep you in line." Adrian smiled. "I was hoping you would." Months later, Ashbourne Hall hosted the largest wedding celebration the county had seen in years. Eleanor walked down the aisle without jewels worth a fortune and without trying to impress anyone. She simply looked at the man waiting for her. Adrian had tested 30 women because he believed love could be measured by honesty. But the 31st woman taught him something far more important. True love wasn't about finding someone who admired your title. It was finding someone who could see beyond it. And Eleanor Hart had done exactly that. She hadn't fallen in love with the Duke. She had fallen in love with Adrian. And for the first time in his life, Adrian knew exactly what it meant to be loved.